Matthew. Matthew, are you there, Matthew? Stephen, have you any idea where Matthew is?
No. Is he not at studio?
No, I don't.
He had some trouble getting there yesterday. But he said he was staying local, so he would make sure he was there in time. I don't know what's happened.
I don't know what's happened either. I tell you what, I'll just give him a call. Hold on.
Okay.
Hello, Matthew. Hello.
Oh, hello. Well, yes, of course I'm here. It's a long way. I came prepared. Good morning. As you can see from that video, time today is very difficult. I don't even have any shoes. Now, if you want to help, if everybody on this call sends me £5, I'll have more than £3,000, and that will make me very happy. If you want to make Matthew very happy, send £5 now. That £3,000 can buy a jet ski, a really nice wine collection, an extra motorcycle. So in order to help, text "Help Matthew" £5. What, Jack? Well, look, these guys win tens of thousands of pounds. Yeah, I know, I can get a little bit of it, can't I? All right, stick to the script. I can't believe it. Unbelievable. Listen, welcome everybody. Welcome to day 2 of the Scottish Edge Round 16 final. I've recovered from a full-on day yesterday as we saw 12 brilliant business presentations. And I'm all set to go for another exhilarating day where we'll hear from some of the top early stage business talent in Scotland. I'm Matthew Quinn, your host for today, and I work for an organisation called Future Sales Factory. And we're proud to be a partner of Scottish Edge, and we deliver sales training for a number of the Edge winners. Many of you Scottish Edge diehards, and I know there's some of you there today, will have joined us yesterday, so thank you for that and welcome back. There'll also be many of you joining us for the first time today, and whilst you've missed an incredibly high standard of final stage yesterday, I'm in no doubt that we'll mirror those same high standards as we see another 10 of Scotland's up-and-coming entrepreneurs pitch to try and win a much-coveted Scottish Edge Award. Now, just before we go on, I need to remind you about our competitions. There's 2 competitions running. The first competition, of course, is to win a car. The DeLorean from yesterday's introduction video. Now, in order to win this car, this wonderful prize, all you have to do is tweet at Scottish Edge, at Dangerous Studios, at We Know Sales. Hashtag Edge16 and answer the very simple question, what motorcycle was I riding on the opening video yesterday? Somebody will win that car. The second prize, probably not quite as exciting as a set of AirPods. Now, here's the question for today's prize of AirPods. Yesterday, I randomly shouted out viewer figures over the course of today, and very helpfully, I also put them on our Twitter feed under the hashtag of Edge16. All you have to do is guess which one of those exact numbers was the closest to yesterday's registration numbers for this event. Whoever chooses the right number and tweets it today before 3 o'clock will be chosen at random by our supercomputer who's sitting next door and is called Jack Proctor. That person will win this lovely set of AirPods. And I'll sign them as well, just to make them even more special. And then they're a collector's item. So those are 2 competitions today. Enter, make sure you tweet hashtag Edge16. Remember, we've still got our favourite judge competition running. We've still got our what do you think if you were the judge competition going. So just keep tweeting us and telling us what you think of the day. Now, as mentioned earlier, today's final streaming live, and we're going to follow a similar format to yesterday's event. And over the course of the next few hours, we'll have 10 of Scotland's most exciting early stage businesses pitch over Zoom to a panel of assessors for the chance to win prizes of up to £150,000. And remember, if you want to help Matthew, all right, Jack, get it. There's also a Scottish Edge app, which you can download, gives you all you need to know about the competitions and details of today's finalists. a schedule for pitching, and the details of judges who you'll meet soon. In fact, forget about soon. Let's meet the judges now. So first of all, we have Brian is chairman of the 4CIG Group. He's an engineer, a professional businessman, and an award-winning entrepreneur. He's been running companies at board level for the last 38 years, the last 26 as an entrepreneur. In 2016, Brian was recognised by We Do Entrepreneurs with a Lifetime Achievement Award, and in 2017, Brian was awarded an honorary doctorate by Glasgow Caledonian University, both awards for his contribution to entrepreneurship. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
And then we have a returning judge, Poonam Malik. She was here yesterday as a judge, and I think was probably one of the winners of the favourite judge category. Poonam is a board member of Scottish Enterprise and also Skills Development Scotland. She's a non-exec director of First Port, a social entrepreneur and an investor with extensive knowledge of everything life sciences, medtech and biotech. And knowing some of the businesses coming up to present today, that knowledge will definitely be needed. Our third assessor is Chris van der Kyle. Chris is founder, owner and chairman of 4J Studios, which is one of the UK's most successful video game developers and responsible for the multi-million selling, multi-award-winning game Minecraft for the console editions. I'm getting, there he is. Chris is the person I have to blame. My daughter sitting in the corner of the room playing Minecraft for hours a day, I suppose, and I'll get him later for that. He's been awarded many university doctorates from Abertay, Dundee, University of Edinburgh and Edinburgh Napier. Chris also sits on a number of boards, one of which is Scottish Edge. Frida Newton MBE is our next judge. Frida is the owner and managing director of a leading cruise tour experience, Loch Ness by Jedi. And I've been on that, Frida, and I think it's fantastic, by the way. So well done. Since 2002, she has grown the business to become a must-do activity tourists across the globe. And last year, the company welcomed over 300,000 visitors to the Loch. She was awarded an MBE for services to economic and community development in the Highlands and Islands of Scotland in 2017, and she's appointed non-executive director of Highlands and Islands Enterprise in 2018. So Frida, lovely to meet you, and as I say, I've been on that cruise. It's absolutely fantastic. Finally, Simon Hanna. Simon is our chief judge, so he's very much the Simon Cowell of today's proceedings. Simon has been a judge before on Scottish Edge many times. He's managing director of Phil's Hill, a multi-award-winning wholesale business based in Glasgow, which supplies around 6,000 convenience-style products to 1,400 different businesses across Scotland and the north of England. Phil's Hill also runs a 190-strong convenience chain key store. Sorry about that, Simon. Store chain key store. He's also chairman of Unitas Wholesale, which is the largest independent buying group in the UK. Simon, how are you this morning?
Yeah, good, thanks, Matthew. But a super day yesterday. It was highly competitive. There's an incredibly high standard of pitching going on today across a fantastic mix of cross-sector businesses. Some high standards to improve on today for the entrants, and the judges are primed and prepared and excited for the day ahead. So very much looking forward to it.
Fantastic. And what's your feeling about who's going to win the favourite judge category today?
Well, it depends. If you create a hate campaign against me again today, I've got no chance of winning. So I'm quite happy with securing fifth spot.
Well, listen, that's a good target to go for, Simon. I'm glad you're aiming higher than normal, and I promise to be much nicer to you today than I was yesterday, and that's a promise, honestly. Right, what a brilliant lineup of entrepreneurial expertise and the perfect lineup for asking the right questions and for making those all-important winners' decisions. Remember, what you're going to do today is you're going to see a number of finalists. They're going to come in. what you're going to see is a 30-second video to introduce the finalist business, and they're going to give, after that, a 3-minute video to pitch the judges. Out of the 23 businesses presenting across today and from yesterday, there could be anything between 12 and 18 winners. And to be pitching at the Scottish Edge final is a big deal for today's finalists and potentially transformational for the future of businesses. So if anyone's sitting at home, it would be great to hear your encouragement for the businesses over the course of the day on Twitter. And we'll read out some of the best comments as we go through. The hashtag, as I say, for today is hashtag Edge16. Now remember, we've got these competitions running from today. So these the AirPods competition. What was the register? What number did I read out yesterday? That's the closest to the registration number. And what motorcycle was I riding in the opening scene? So, as I say, in a moment we're going to get our first finalist up, who I know is sitting in the wings and waiting anxiously. You can see a 30-second introduction video. Then you're going to see the 3-minute pitch. And then there's 7 minutes for the judges to ask questions. Our first finalist of the day is Jonathan Burridge of Utopi. They specialise in helping buildings optimise space and performance. Jonathan, all the best of luck.
At Utopi, we are setting the agenda for the future of smart buildings. We do this by integrating industries, systems and data. This enables us to deliver greater levels of efficiency, higher levels of safety and compliance, and fantastic user experiences for our clients. Our service is underpinned by our in-house developed software platform, Utopi Connect. This, combined with our commercial model, we believe makes us truly unique.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Burridge, CEO and co-founder of Utopi. Our vision is to help our clients create truly smart buildings through system and data integration. To simplify this, we have created a vertically integrated managed service underpinned by our in-house developed software platform, Utopi Connect. In doing this, Utopi is leading the way in the digitization of facilities management, utilizing IoT sensor technology, remote management, and process automation. We aggregate data from disparate building systems to provide automated workflow and actionable management information, leading to a reduction in operational costs and energy consumption, supporting our clients on their road to net zero carbon. During lockdown, we created Utopi Protect, designed to help businesses safely return to the workplace. This IoT solution provides thermal screening, people counting, and automated cleaning regimes, assisting with infection control within the workplace. This is a clear pivot for our business. Our market opportunity is vast. The UK facilities management market is circa £120 billion per annum. We see our competition in two main areas: IoT software vendors and traditional facilities management providers. We currently employ 13 full-time, 3 part-time members of staff. Our executive team consists of a blend of commercial, operational, technical and market-focused experts with a track record of delivering organic growth. We sell both directly and indirectly. Our primary focus is direct, and we are attracting significant inbound interest from the build-to-rent operators and investors market as a result of our recent PR with Moda Living. In the build-to-rent market, we're currently working and in dialogue with Harrison Street, Invesco, CA Ventures, Hudson Advisors at the investor level, and with Cortland, Get Living and Boho at an operator level. Our pipeline also includes names such as British Land, Workspace, Apex Hotels, as well as a number of care home operators. Indirectly, we partner with XL Group for the UK private sector and Comms World for the Scottish public sector. Our anchor client, Moda Living, have already committed £350,000 of revenue to Utopi, and since our original Edge application, we agreed a portfolio-wide managed service delivering smart FM to their entire portfolio. In addition, we have a commitment from Moda for 1,800 Utopi multi-sensors. This product has been developed in-house to make IoT available and accessible to our target markets. Our application is for £100,000. To accelerate product development, we plan to spend £20,000 on front-end development, £10,000 on our building performance centre to deliver our smart FM service, £40,000 on software development, and £30,000 on energy management resource. Time to market is a critical factor. So being a Scottish Edge winner will not only provide critical funding at this time, It will also elevate our brand to a new level. Thank you.
Well done, Jonathan. An excellent pitch. First question from me. So the system identifies inefficiencies within the process. How is that identified to the customers, and how is it flagged, and what course of action does it require or recommend?
So the system itself is actually designed to manage the delivery of the outcome. So in essence, what we do is we collect the data, and then we use that data to provide a more proactive and more automated managed service. So the actual identification of savings is done pre-service delivery as part of an audit process that we carry out. So we carry out an assessment across the existing asset to look at the various different areas of spend. We then baseline that, and then we go and deliver that service using our Smart FM product, which then ultimately derives the saving that we talk about, whether that's in efficiency, energy costs, whatever, and that's quite broad in terms of what it covers.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Excellent pitch, and a very key area considering the climate change and the decarbonization agenda, as well as the infection that you mentioned. So I would like to know your thoughts in terms of where do you see behavioral change? Is it in the existing buildings, or is it in the new buildings to plan for smarter buildings? And who do you need to convince to get that behavioral change?
Yeah, okay. So we have a go-to-market plan which incorporates new build and existing buildings. So we have a retrofit solution. When we're talking investor level, their main objective is ultimately to reduce operational cost, because that enhances their asset value. Now that asset value is enhanced not just by cost savings, but also by making done buildings smart, because the asset itself has a higher value by asset class. So we do new build. We start right from initial consultancy on design all the way through to handover into operations. And retrofit, we have a solution that allows us to implement our technology to deliver, at least part of the benefit that can be delivered through a smart building technology, but at the same time considering making that affordable and accessible, because clearly you're not going to rip out all the systems that you have and replace them with new, with a live building. So it's about integrating with existing legacy systems for us.
Thank you. Brian.
Thanks very much, Jonathan, and well done on that COVID reaction and return to work. That's a great tactic. Well done. And my question is perhaps more of a practical one about sensors. And you're obviously taking data from various sources. What would you see are the barriers? You may need permissions or whatever to gathering that data from various systems and controls, which will be located in various geographical areas.
I guess the thing that we've tried to achieve is making sure that we're GDPR compliant. So the data that we capture is anonymized. We don't use any data that's tied to any specific person. I think that would take us into a territory that would be unmanageable. So when we talk about sensor data, it's literally counting things like occupancy, the number of times assets are being used, look at environmental conditions, using those environmental conditions to then be able to inform, automation around system management. So, increasing airflow, heating and cooling, switching things on and off. So in terms of how we manage data, we've done that in an anonymous way, and that's been deliberate to simplify really our go-to-market plan. Hopefully that answers your question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks, Jonathan.
Okay.
Good morning, Jonathan. I love the idea of you making dumb buildings smart, but I do wonder about when in your risk assessment you had that you were going to target niche companies and have cost leadership. And I wonder what you meant by that cost leadership. Is that you're going to be cheap in what you're doing, or how are you going to tell us how much it costs to do this to the dumb building, and what's that going to make, or how are you going to make it smart?
So I guess that in answer to the first part of the question, we've devised a solution around service management that gives us a cost advantage, a structural cost advantage. It's a very reactive industry that we work in today, where there's a lot of on-site resource required to manage systems. By implementing technology, you can remove the need for so many site visits for engineers, so you can do that remotely. there's an inherent cost saving to the way that we deliver our service, which means that we have a cost advantage. So that's one element to how we deliver a more efficient service. The second thing is we've developed our software in-house, so that there's no need for us to go and procure an application and be at the behest of somebody else for delivering that service, which means that, again, that was a strategic decision that we made early on, develop our own platform, because A, it means that we don't have that as a part of our cost base, so it gives us a structural cost advantage, but B, we can also commercialize the software platform at a later stage in its development, so when it's market ready. So in our future plans, we are looking to create a SaaS product from our architecture and our software that we're developing today. Does that answer your question? Sorry, I'm not sure if I captured the whole question there.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. I'll lead on to Chris.
Thanks, Freya.
Thanks.
Yeah, a great presentation. Thank you. I suppose my question is really to get your response around competition in the sort of facilities building management world. There's a lot of people out there coming to market with solutions that look quite similar to yours. There's a big push from the mass marketing, from Googles and Amazons to take consumer devices, which, as we've seen in other industries, will be adopted into professional markets as well. And then from the top end down, the big guys will be coming at you as well. I'd just love to hear your response to how you're going to address the competition and when you're getting attacked from all sides.
Yeah, so I think that's a really good question, and one that we assessed heavily, as you can imagine, at the start of this journey. So I guess there's two things that we're focused on. One is our execution. So we do top-down sales. So we've started at the investor level, and we're having a conversation about really what their objectives are and helping use technology to deliver their objectives, ultimate objectives. It's a very top-down industry, especially build to rent, where you've got institutional investors that own the assets. So the sales execution is one aspect. The other aspect is our commercial model. So unlike other software products that are out there, which is kind of in the IoT market is emerging very quickly, and there's lots of technology out there, we take technology and deliver the value for our clients as an outsource, which is quite different. And then just to answer your last point on facilities managers, these guys have legacy systems and processes that will be very difficult for them to change. We're dynamic and new and disruptive, so we can do, and we have built our systems bottom up to deliver our vision. So we are fully technology enabled from day one, so more agile.
Jonathan, thank you very much. We're out of time now, so back to Matthew. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you all.
Well done, Jonathan. Now that's the standard set for the day. Now, I must say it was a pretty good standard to get things going, so thank you very much for that, Jonathan. Now, the EDGE competition was devised 7 years ago, and after an initial funding support from the Scottish Government, the competition attracted private sector support from key partners, the Royal Bank of Scotland and the Hunter Foundation, which allowed for an increase in the prize pot and an overall competition offering. Further support then transpired from Scottish Enterprise and various other partner organisations, some of whom you'll hear about throughout the course of today. And all this has enabled Scottish Edge to now be widely recognised as one of the biggest business competitions anywhere in Great Britain. Since its inception, Scottish Edge has awarded over £15 million to almost 400 Scottish businesses. And this round will see probably another 1 million to be added to that figure, which makes it 16 million. And if you can do maths, round 16 million, that's how it kind of works. Round 16 was actually impacted heavily through the coronavirus pandemic because the round was actually launched in 2020. It was then relaunched again in early July 2020, and a record-breaking 327 businesses applied. Following some tough competition assessment stages, this number was whittled down to 23 finalists, 12 of whom presented yesterday, and you'll see the other 11 over the course of today, so 10 more to go. Now, how this works is after the conclusion of each business presentation, our esteemed panel of judges, led bravely by Mr. Simon Hanna, will be working hard to capture some of the key points and provide their scores to the business against the Scottish Edge assessment criteria standards. So in between each pitch, whilst the judges are busying away, we'll be looking to share some Scottish Edge insight via some past alumni and partner organisations. Later on today, we'll also have our keynote speaker session. Yesterday's keynote, for those who were here, will remember, was Chris van der Kuyl and Maria Krapinska, head of Google for startups. and it was truly awesome. If you didn't get the chance to see any of that, I'd encourage you to watch the playback version when it's available. Today's keynote is expected to be equally as good. At 1 o'clock, just as we return after lunch, we'll hear some inspirational words of wisdom as Sir Tom Hunter interviews Chris Evans, which should be quite exciting because obviously Chris Evans is one of my favourite radio presenters and Hollywood actors. Oh, apparently it's not that Chris Evans, Professor Sir Christopher Evans, who's one of the UK's leading bioscience entrepreneurs, and one of Wales's most successful entrepreneurs, and a man whose invention has saved the lives of countless premature babies. Definitely not something to be missed, and definitely something to be admired. So make sure you've got your diary booked out for that at 1 o'clock today. Told on great authority by the Scottish Edge team that one of the most common questions they're asked is to tell people about the most successful businesses who Edge have supported. There have been almost 400 businesses who have won an Edge award, and there are numerous success stories. Within that, but one business that stands out is Uni Pizza Ovens, who won an Edge award back in round 8. For those of you tuned in yesterday, you'll also recognise Dorina, one of the business leaders who was on the assessment panel for yesterday's final. Let's hear Uni Pizza Oven's story.
So Uni are the makers of the world's first portable wood-fired pizza oven, and we are leading a revolution in outdoor cooking.
I got really into making pizzas back in 2010, and I soon realized that I'd love to get one of these traditional wood-fired ovens for our garden, but there wasn't really an option to spend a couple of £1,000 on a big oven. So I couldn't find anybody else making one. I decided that let's see if it's possible to invent one.
When Christian made a prototype, it was quite rudimentary, but it worked really well. We were blown away by what it could do. And Christian was all over kind of the Kickstarter scene, which was really new, and we made a really simple campaign to get it out there.
We're one of the first campaigns in the UK to successfully fund, which is really exciting. We've been growing on average 250% year on year on average for the last 3 years. We're 32 people, so grown quite considerably, and growing those teams in a strategic way that allows us to take us to the next level.
Scottish Edge has helped us in a few ways actually. We moved from London in 2015, and in 2016 we applied for the Edge prize or the funding, and we were successful. So straight away it was incredibly helpful. We got 50,000, and that was used exclusively on IP. But as well as that, there's kind of presenting and meeting the Scottish Business Network. And then beyond there, Evelyn and the team have just been incredibly helpful in supporting us across the board, connecting with advisors and potential mentors to help us grow, because whilst it's been really good, it's also really challenging to grow a business on this scale, and so we are here to learn, and I think that the mindset of the Edge community has really enabled that.
No, Dorina. No, Dorina, listen, it's really simple. I just want a pizza oven. Listen, we played your video, okay? I can affect this favourite judge competition. I can make the favourite judge competition is one of the highest awards you can get in Scottish. Forget the £150,000. I just want to listen. That video this morning was in my garden. You can see my garden. It's crying out for an oven. Just sort the oven out, okay? Right. I'll just keep saying Uni Pizza Ovens all the way through every so often, okay? Right. Good. Yeah. Okay. Delivered later. Crap, I'm back on. So what a brilliant product, and what an amazing business story for all those outdoor enthusiasts out there. Make sure a Uni Pizza Oven is at the top of your Christmas list. It's definitely on mine. Okay, everyone, we're ready to go with finalist number 2 now. Next to tell you about their business story is Alex McVeigh, whose business is developing a series of devices for the microbiology sector. Good luck, Alex.
In biotechnology, research and development is expensive. This matters because companies can't innovate, and the potential new drug you might need or commercially viable and environmentally friendly petrol isn't going to get made. I'm Teuta Pelizot, one of the directors of Ogi Bio. Ogi Bio enables our customers to innovate with a series of products. One of these products we are showing you in this video. The products offer automation, increased analytics, and control of microbial culturing to our customers. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Alex McVeigh, co-founder and MD of Ogi Bio, a company formed in February this year with a vision to revolutionise how microbes are cultured. Bacteria, yeast, and algae, or microbes, are everywhere, and growing and manipulating them to improve our food, our drink, our health, and ultimately our lives forms the basis of the $13 billion microbiology technology market. But how the sector grows microbes and the way that they want to monitor that growth is outdated. It's mostly done manually, but if you want to automate, you have to use systems that are developed for mammalian cells, not for much smaller microbes. These systems may come in shiny new boxes, but the reality is the technology that they use to measure how these cultures are growing hasn't changed since the 1960s, and that's a problem. It's a problem because the information that you get from this technology isn't sufficient. It measures the whole population with one number, which means it can't tell the difference between a set of spheres and a set of rods. It can't tell the difference between apples and bananas, essentially. And that means there's a lot of guesswork in R&D. It takes a lot more time, and it's a lot more expensive to do. Companies have told us they're spending a third of their turnover on R&D. And that means they aren't able to innovate as much as they'd like to. They can't make that new drug, or they can't develop the next generation of biofuels. At Ogi Bio, we solve these problems with a series of innovative solutions. To automate the growth of microbes, we have developed a system that is designed for microbes. It's a flexible, affordable solution that allows our customers to pick and choose the features that they need for their system and fit them to our devices when they need it. We've gone further though, and we've developed a system for automated cell imaging that allows our customers to access the information they need at a single cell level in real time. And we have plans for even more innovation in the future. We've got significant market interest already, and we've just made our first sales of our automation device. We've got 33 customers at different stages in our customer pipeline, including Fujifilm Diosynth, one of the market leaders, who say that they could save £1 million per product that they bring to the marketplace with our cell imaging system. Our team is really well placed to deliver this. It's a very strong technical team at the intersection of physics, biology, and engineering, led by my co-founder, Teuta Pelizot, and our chair has over 30 years' experience of bringing similar devices to the marketplace. The funding from Scottish Edge will allow us to establish a final assembly and testing facility in the Scottish Central Belt and to grow our devices and manufacture into the marketplace. Thank you.
Well done, Alex. Good pitch. Thank you. Couple of questions from me. The first one is, you've obviously engaged early with a customer base. When will your product be available for them to purchase and start using?
So we've taken our first orders, and we're in the process now of manufacturing in-house. We can do that up to about 50 units per year through a 3D printed system. What we're looking for here is to scale that manufacturing so we can grow and produce more units per person to scale into the marketplace.
So those 50 are available now for customers to be able to utilize?
We can produce up to 50 a year with what we have capabilities. The restrictions there is the 3D printing time that it takes.
Yeah. Okay. And second question, the cost of your rent is utterly eye-watering. Why is it so high? It's taking a large percentage of your available cash out of the business. And how might you consider bringing that down in some way?
Absolutely, I'm aware that's a very high figure. That's the figures that we've negotiated with the University of Edinburgh for access to the laboratories that we spun out of from there. There's flexibility in that, we believe, and actually we're exploring other avenues to move out of the university quicker, so that we can drive those costs down.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. I suppose you have chosen a very niche area, which is quite, as you say, since 1960s or so, no innovation has happened in that area. So well done on that. And you were talking about two solutions. One is based on your providing the culture growth, and another one was the single cell analysis. So in terms of your interaction, can you tell between the two, where do you see your more growth coming through, and what's your total addressable market that you would like to achieve?
So where we see the biggest growth, potentially from both sectors. So at the minute, automation is only conducted by very large companies because the cost of competitor systems is of the order of hundreds of thousands of pounds. So there's a lot of young and very small companies that don't have that capital expense or the operational expense to run these systems, and so there's a big market there. I can come back to that in a second. For the cell imaging, we have the additional information that we can give to customers, which allows us to expand across the entire sector, right through the big established biotechnology companies, right through to the very small companies. In terms of the addressable market, ballpark figures, you're talking between 20 and 40,000 biotechnology companies globally. If you add the 25,000 or so universities that are there worldwide, if we're selling 2 base units of our automation system plus 3 add-on modules to them, that equates to, if we're selling to maybe 10% of the market there, then that's about 20,000 plus devices sold.
Okay, thank you. Can you tell me a bit more about your intellectual property status at the moment? Because you are still part of being a university, and so which stage and what are you at currently?
Absolutely. So the company owns all of the intellectual property associated with the automation systems and our first solution. That is held as trade secrets and know-how, and we're protecting that way. With the imaging system still in development, and we have developed that as part in collaboration with the university. We're currently in discussions as to the release of that intellectual property, but we expect it to be licensed to the company directly.
Thank you, Brian.
Hi, Alex. Thanks very much for that presentation. It's great. Good to see you moving into manufacturing. That's a great thing to achieve. However, I got the impression from your submission that you may be on that research and development train that's quite hard to get off at times. Whether you ever break the back of that, I'm not sure, but where do you feel you are in that process of research and development with your products, and do you feel there's an end to that?
So no, there will never be an end to the R&D that we're doing in terms of the innovation, but it's bringing new products to our portfolio of devices that we want to offer. So the key selling point of our system is that it's modular. We sell a base unit that does the automation, but if our customers need specific additional measurements or control or anything like that, we can bring modules to the market that allow them to do it, and they buy the systems only that they require. They're not buying any obsolescence into the systems. So the innovation coming new developments of new moduli that we're producing for that product. It's not our base unit is there. We've got a version now that's we're selling into the marketplace, and we're looking to scale that manufacturing there.
Yeah, and on that customization side, is that customer funded, or would you have to speculate on that funding to create that new application?
No, so this is a fixed set of modules that we've identified that our customers have already told us. So I've been out in the ICURE process and independent evaluation of that. Other things that would bring additional value proposition and additional value from our products to them. So we have the capabilities and the technical knowledge to bring those to fruition, and we're working to do that. We have funding to bring 3 modules already to the marketplace in the next 3 years. Next year, sorry, and we're looking to establish additional non-dilutive funding to do that.
Okay, that's great, Alex. Thanks.
Hi, Alex. I'll just quickly ask you, what do you think your biggest risk or challenge is going to be over the next 12 months?
The biggest risk has been obviously the need to secure funding during the coronavirus outbreak. We're looking to close around in the next couple of weeks, so that's been addressed. What we need to do now is we need to establish an ability to scale into the marketplace, and that's something that we need to meet this need with the customers already. And I think that's going to be the biggest challenge: getting enough product out into the marketplace that we can establish ourselves.
Okay, thank you. I'll hand over to Chris.
Hi there, Alex. Alex, I've two quick questions. The first one is, just at the start you said you've got customers kind of ready to go and you've got potential with 3D printing to sort of hand crank about 50 units a year, yet you don't have any revenue in for the next 12 months. So can you comment on that? And then the second question, really, with the imaging part of your product line, does seem quite exciting. How much of your technology ultimately will be software and algorithmic versus hardware, and is that licensable to other partners?
So to answer the first one, initially there was no revenue in there because we weren't anticipating to make sales this quickly. When the application went in, that wasn't the case. Now this is evolving very quickly. We have the ability to do it. We weren't anticipating using it. We wanted to be able to scale into the marketplace and produce a final product. What we're selling now is pre-production devices that our customers are crying out for a solution. They'll take anything that we can give them now, and that's sort of beta testing devices, and but they're actually willing to pay for those. The second part was what part of the cell imaging we see as being product.
And how much? Yeah, and how much of your technology is kind of software algorithmic based, which is potentially licensable to other partners?
So there's a large element of that. One of the things that we're working on is developing a suite of packages to help our customers better understand that, better understand the images that we're getting from them. There's obviously a hardware component to that, but we're trying to identify the best model that we can use for the sale of this device. Whether it's a case of leasing the device and a licensing software situation that keeps them locked in, or whether we're selling the device and then licensing software. That's still an open question in our business plan at the minute.
Okay, Alex, we're going to have to stop you there. Thank you very much, and excellent answers to some really good questions. Back to you, Matthew.
Thank you very much.
Great presentation. Thank you very much, judges. I hope you've done enough to impress those judges. They're very, 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 very stern and fierce. Now, to get the lowdown on today's event and find out the details of all the finalists, remember to download the Scottish app, which you can get from the website. And we also want to hear from you on Twitter. So if you're lying there having a duvet day, tuning into Edge, I'm sure it's something lots of people do. A cup of coffee in one hand, gin and tonic in the other. Maybe it is after 10 o'clock. So fair enough. If you're sitting there doing nothing else and you're watching, just get your phone in one hand, tweet what you think to #Edge16. Tell us what you would think if you were the judges, what you think of Alex's presentation, his pitch, what you thought of his answers. Give some encouragement to the people that you know that are coming on here, and also remember, vote for your favourite judge and answer those questions. Somebody is very close to the AirPods answer, but no winning answer yet, and there are two people that have got the correct answer for the DeLorean, and a lot of people got the wrong one. So keep putting those answers in. Normally at a Scottish Edge finals day, there'd be a live audience of many thousands of people. And one of the main attractions is the array of entrepreneur supporters who are on hand in the exhibition area to offer support and guidance to Scotland's early stage businesses. All of the key Scottish Edge partners organisations usually exhibit. Following on from yesterday, we heard from some of the partners. We'll be showcasing some of the partners' videos over the course of today's final. The first up today is our partner, Harper McLeod. Harper McLeod have been an official Scottish Edge partner since round 5. And also sponsor the top prize award within a Young Edge category. So let's hear from the team at Harper McLeod.
Hi, I'm Paula Skinner, so I head up entrepreneurial team within Harper McLeod, and I'm really responsible for the Scottish Edge relationship and the team that works with all of the Scottish Edge winners. And Harper Clyde and Scottish Edge's relationship goes back such a long time. To me, the two organisations fit hand in hand. Our ethos and values are pretty aligned. So there's a whole package of things. The same way as we work with the businesses that win Edge, we work with the Edge in exactly the same way. We've got a brilliant relationship with the whole team at Scottish Edge. I think the team they are absolutely fantastic and one of the best to work with. But in terms of other areas where we've helped beyond providing legal advice, things like providing judges, providing access to funders, many funders are out with the UK, providing introductions for some of the Edge winners. We've provided event space with a sounding board for new ideas, and we were the first business to sign the Edge Pledge, whereby we've pledged 5% of any funds that we receive from Edge businesses back to Scottish Edge. From Harper Clyde's perspective, Young Edge gives us a platform to get involved with the entrepreneurs at as early stage as possible, and that's actually where we've got our biggest successes in working with entrepreneurs from day one right through the entire life journey. So working with Young Edge gives us that platform. It's completely inspirational when you go along to a Young Edge final. Our head of corporate and member of the management team, Donnie Monroe, typically judges Edge, and the excitement and inspiration that he comes back into our organisation with, whether that's new ideas for the business to think about, or whether that's just new approaches that we can work through with our staff. It's just an inspirational day. I think the highlight for me personally is just the growth of Scottish Edge and how close the relationship is between Scottish Edge and Harper McLeod. I think genuinely Scottish Edge are part of the Harper McLeod family, and we're delighted to continue working with them and support their growth ambitions.
Great to hear from the team at Harper McLeod. Having legal support as part of the additional support package offering for the Edge winners enables these early stage businesses to get some vital legal guidance right at the start of their journey. Now, time for our next finalist, and I know she's waiting in the wings there. Again, as I said yesterday, occasionally I see these finalists, people I know, some of my favourite people apply for Edge Awards, and this is one of them. Here to tell us all about Scotland's first fragrance house is Imogen Russell-Taylor from Kingdom Scotland. Good luck, Imogen, you can do this.
I'm Imogen, a fragrance fanatic and the founder of Scotland's first fragrance house. Kingdom Scotland is a new Scottish luxury brand with top quality scents, authentic stories and selective distribution. Our fragrances are complex, sustainable, ethical, they last longer and are gender inclusive. This is our new perfume, Kingdom Botanica, a collaboration with the Royal Botanic Garden, Edinburgh. We launched with Harvey Nichols, Gleneagles. Now we need to sell direct online and field all the opportunities presented internationally.
Hello, good morning everyone. Scent is our most powerful and personal of senses, triggering cherished memories and even calming us in these anxious times. I'm Imogen, a fragrance fanatic and the founder of Kingdom Scotland, Scotland's first fragrance house. This business is ready to fly. We have validation, traction, demand, a scalable supply chain, and it's made in Scotland. I now need to amplify online engagement and sales. With £100,000 funding, I can build digital presence and achieve £1 million turnover in year 3 and be international. Kingdom Scotland is a new Scottish luxury brand with top quality scents, authentic stories and selective distribution. Our fragrances are complex, sustainable, ethical, vegan. They last longer and are gender inclusive. I'm fielding inquiries from around the world. There is a big opportunity in luxury fragrance now. I am putting Scotland on a map of this fragrance success story. By year 3, 40% of turnover will come from international sales. Kingdom launched in late 2018 with Harvey Nichols, then Gleneagles, the Balmoral, Les Senteurs and our website. I'm early to trading but have sold over 1,000 products, 50% through retail, 35% through our website and 15% at events. To date, the focus has been on strategic luxury brand building with select and exclusive distribution in the UK. This takes time. We were nominated as Newcomer of the Year at the Fragrance Foundation Awards, the Oscars of of the fragrance industry and were asked to represent Scotland on a Walpole panel on British luxury brands. We've been approached by Pringle, global whisky brands and hotel groups, British Airways and Harrods, and been featured in the Times, El Deco, Scottish Nationals and FT How to Spend It. We were asked to collaborate with the Royal Botanic Garden Edinburgh and already have 500 bottles pre-ordered of our new perfume. I've teamed with a unique Scottish perfumer and a top design team to create a standout brand. In 3 years, we will expand to 6 perfumes. I'm building an advisory board to challenge and support. With this funding, I will immediately hire an operations manager to streamline and increase production and to increase profit margin. During COVID, fragrance brands have had to focus online. And despite COVID, customers are still demanding more unique luxury scents, and sustainability is a rising theme. My strategy is to sell 2/3 online and 1/3 through retail. I need this ScotEdge funding now to start building a team and to increase profitability, to drive digital sales and to plan for export. Help me to bottle Scotland with Kingdom Scotland. Thank you.
Well, Imogen, it's a shame that Zoom haven't come up with a mechanism for us to be able to smell your wonderful perfumes, but maybe somebody in Edge or a future Edge entrant may come up with a solution for that. I noticed that you know, in your business plan, you've identified 4 months, October, November, December, and February, where all your marketing spend will be utilised. How will you be noticed for the other 8 months of the year, and how will you continue to build retention and traction with no marketing spend in those other months?
Sales of perfume tend to be really skewed towards the Christmas months, hence that activity. And some of that activity will spill over and will benefit from that from the months it's gearing up, and will benefit from the months afterwards. But I would say 60% of high-end perfume sales happen at Christmas. So I need to do a really big push at that time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Imogen. And I'm really missing the big auditorium where we might have gotten some judges' goodies there with Kingdom Scotland. So it's probably for something for the next time. Really love your branding and the product. It just looks wonderful. In terms of your market, luxury market that you are aiming for, obviously, current scenario, you're saying 2/3 of your sales you want to do online, but also you have been very well known in Scotland. What is your export strategy? And if some of these big names were to transfer internationally, where do you want to approach and how?
Absolutely. This is a global luxury brand. That's the vision. I think it's important to launch in the home market, which I did with Harvey Nichols in Edinburgh. And then the first year is actually focusing on the UK, because to get international sales and international retail, you need to have a really strong presence and credentials in your home market. But I've worked with Edinburgh University MBA course, and we've identified the first markets: the US, Scandinavia, and Germany will be the first markets. And I would start that work next year to start in 2021, at the end of 2021.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thanks for endeavouring to put Scotland Fragrance Map, and I have to thank Simon for the idea of my scratch and sniff laptop, which I'm sure will be on the agenda for Edge 17. Imogen, having had a company that's in luxury goods, and I guess Diageo was a big customer, we were one of the top European suppliers. Marketing is the key thing in luxury goods, and it's a high proportion of spend. What would be your differentiator to say your marketing is going to hit a wider audience than perhaps it would do for people that have, in the fragrance market, very deep pockets?
I'm so sorry. You think? Can you explain that again?
Yeah, I'm looking for the key part of your luxury product is marketing, and what's your differentiator on your marketing being better than fragrance houses that have pretty deep pockets to generate that market and that connection to customers?
Well, there is the novelty to be Scotland's fragrance house as well. I mean, it's incredible that Scotland doesn't have a luxury fragrance house. And having worked in whisky myself, I understand that Scottish lover, the luxury consumer. I think bottling Scotland in scent is really evocative, particularly as people can't escape, people can't travel. What a beautiful way to experience Scotland internationally. And I think that's really, really different. And I think the beauty of Scotland and the sense of escape it provides, it's important that I have a sustainability message. So this perfume is quite different in that it is effectively a green perfume, and money is going back to biodiversity research, which is really different in the market.
That's great, Imogen. Thanks for that. And over to you, Frida.
Thank you, Brian. You stole my question, so I'm sort of wondering here where I'll go from here, Imogen. I think looking at the product, it is the differentiation. I know that it's Scottish, but you go into the airport and you see so many fragrances out there. What is it you think would draw somebody to your product?
The scent profile is very, very different, and it's been quite interesting. I've worked with a lot of the aficionados in the perfume world, if you like, the gatekeepers of the information in connoisseurs. They love it. I got an article yesterday from a very difficult perfume reviewer. They're very akin to whiskey writers, and he loves it. He sees the difference. He sees the complexity. They last longer. They're also gender inclusive, and the price point as well. A lot of the perfumes of this quality could be £400. So it is different, it's beautiful, and I think the link with the aromatic world of whiskey and my background, all of this is really different for the market.
Okay, thank you. On to Chris.
Well, Imogen, I've come prepared. I have a portal here, so I can attest to the fabulousness of your fragrance as a customer. It's I've followed your story for a while now, and I think it's a wonderful product. You're doing an amazing job, and clearly the challenge in the world of luxury is being heard. As a challenger brand, I suppose my question to you is, who out there, not in perfume per se, but in the world of luxury or in the world of consumer goods, has built a challenger brand that you say, that's the kind of strategy I maybe don't want to copy exactly, but their spirit, their entrepreneurial spirit is what I want to reflect. Who would you pick?
I don't know if they're particularly a challenger brand, but my vision is Macallan. I want to be the Macallan of perfume. It's a vision, but I think it's totally achievable. I think to have that international presence, that confidence, that representation of Scotland in luxury, that's my vision.
Well, my Zoom room now smells a lot better than it did before. Thank you.
I've got another question here. Obviously, online plays a critical part of your strategy. Can you talk me through your onboarding plan, what your proposed cost per acquisition that you've budgeted for, what conversion rates that you're measuring on, and what onboarding incentives are you creating and budgeting to recruit new customers?
So with funding, the very first thing I will do is I have a consultation group of strategic advisors in this arena where we'll actually go through and plan two things. The first thing we'll plan is the digital architecture that's needed to deliver this, and looking longer term than just 1 year, for example, and also to include further markets as well to go international. And then the second thing is actually to define exactly the right digital strategy. And all of the mechanics that we will use and the creative and the engagement that we'll use will be working online, but planning it to work offline as well when the world gets less restricted and we can start moving. So the creative will for both.
Okay, so you haven't budgeted for that in the immediate future then?
No, I've put £8,000 in for the digital architecture, having taken advice, and then I have £32,000 of the £100,000 spend to go towards. The majority of it is for online marketing, and there's a sampling program that's included within that as well.
Okay, thank you. We're out of time. Excellent presentation. Well done, Imogen. Back to you, Matthew.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. What a brilliant, inspiring way to end a great morning session. It's going to be a tough day for the judges to pick the eventual winners, so it's time to give them a little short breather. For those of you who joined yesterday, you may remember I offered some tips around eye exercises for helping combat the extended screen time, which many of us are experiencing just now due to the restrictions of COVID-19. For today's health advice, we're going to focus on exercises you can do while sitting down, alternatively known as desk exercise. First up, there's shadow boxing. So whilst you're sitting there, raise your arms up in a boxing pose and push them alternately forwards and backwards. But I'm not doing this. Are you reading this on the auto cue? I can't believe it. Well, I'm not a performing monkey. Is it Stephen? Is it Jack getting it? With the writing stuff on here, they want me to do exercises. I'm a lazy man and I'm not a morning person. I can't. Honestly, it's like throw Matthew a banana, and he'll do some form of desk-ercise. That's not even a thing. Honestly, it's just ridiculous. It really is. I'm embarrassed for all of you. That's what I am. If you're at home and you're watching this and you want to have a little sleep, go and have a little sleep. As far as I'm concerned, this thing's on the auto cues. It's silent seat squeeze. The silent seat squeeze. What kind of nonsense is that? It's not even a thing. Silent seat squeeze. It says it right. I'm not joking. Squeeze your buttock while sitting down. How do you do that? How do you squeeze your buttocks? Right, my hands are here. Buttocks are there. Everybody knows that. Silent seat squeeze. It's just embarrassing. That's what it is. Come back here for 11 o'clock and maybe we'll get some professionalism and we'll start thinking of actually how to move on with this, with the business presentations. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to go get a cup of tea and a silent seat squeeze. Join us again, 11 o'clock. Thank you.